Hello everyone, Resolute Outdoors here. So today we're going out here and we're cleaning up our garden from last season. I wanted to go over some small space gardening ideas with all you guys. As you can see, we live in a townhouse here, and we have limited space to be able to garden. So this is kind of what we've been doing, and it's worked pretty well for us. Definitely not as good as having a dedicated actual garden, but let me take you along talking about some of the things we planted, some of the success we had, and some of the failures we had, and some of the techniques we're using. So first we have this rack here. We had cucumbers in these bottom two, and then in this top one here we had some pepper plants. We started inside. Didn't get them out here soon enough, and they didn't produce at all, but they just didn't go over as well as we would have liked. The cucumbers definitely being stacked in here, they had limited success. They were a bush variety, but still they had limited success in this rack. I would definitely stay away from stacking things like this if that's at all possible. As you can see here, we have these flower pots, and these are okay for some things. As you can see, they'll go along all the railing. This pot here, we had tomatoes in, which they did okay. It's hard to use a cage. We'll use some wooden dowels, which I can show you later on as well about what we used to help those. Here we had peppers, which the peppers did really well. Yeah, there was plenty of root space here for peppers. So they did really good as compared to some of the other things I'll talk about later on. Here we had some lettuce, which we just overcrowded. We didn't get anything out of it. We overcrowded in these little pots. They're just too little to be able to have a couple plants in there. It's one or two, probably two is probably your max for most things in these pots. And here we just had some flowers, had some marigolds and some impatiens, just for pollination and things like that. So here, these are the things that did the best for us, was these two potters here on the ground. This one here, let me see if I can, right here, this one we had cucumbers in, which did excellent. And I have a video on how I dehydrate our cucumbers. If you're interested, you can go watch that. I'll link that down below. Also here, this is where we had our zucchini, which was doing excellent. Had a lot of plants. Got hit with some powdery mildew. Didn't end up getting a single zucchini the entire season. So definitely kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Moving up here, have a bird feeder, and we have a just hanging flower here, just for pollination and just nice, looking nice and things like that. So that's about what we have there. Here, this is labeled spearmint, but our experiment with spearmint didn't last, so we had a marigold plant in there as well. Over here, we had some more of those peppers that we started inside, but they just didn't work out. And here we had some peppermints, which we had limited success with as well. Here, this corner, we had watermelons. I think we started this a little too late. They were doing great, and it just got too cold before we were able to get any watermelons off of them. They were, I believe, the sugar baby variety. Had them here on this little table. This table was big enough to hold them. Just didn't get them started soon enough. Over here, we had some broccoli here and here, and it did okay, but kind of the same story. Just got it started too late. It didn't work out the best for us. Moving along, we had cauliflower here and cabbage in these three, and they did okay. The plants looked healthy and they grew bigger, but we never had any vegetables off of them. I think it has to do with how shallow these are, because there's a plastic insert in the bottom of these for water. So I think the shallowness of the dirt really didn't give them enough root space to grow and be as big as they needed to be to produce any vegetables. Lastly here, you can see we have another little flower pot here. This is dead plants we cleaned up from today. So one other thing as well, show you. These are the rods we used for the tomatoes and some other things on some of these beds as well. One other thing I want to note before we go is, if you look over here on these gray planters, I had to drill some holes just because there's no draining holes in the bottom of these, and if you don't cut them, it just overflows with water. You know, your soil all spills out and everything like that, so kind of a bummer there. Overall, these are okay. Yeah, I would stick more to tomatoes and peppers probably next year, just for these kind of planters. Unfortunately, it's just working with the space we have. So I know a lot of you guys are maybe working in some limited areas here and might not be able to do as much gardening as you like. Same goes for us. We definitely like to do more, but this is the space we have, so doing the best we can. Hopefully this gave you guys some ideas on what to plant, how to plant it, how you can set up kind of a little back patio area like this. In the future, we'd like to upgrade to something a little bit more, and hopefully that's sooner rather than later. Can't say anything more about that at the moment, but till next time, guys, this is Resolute Outdoors. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you.